Well, that incoming missile siren sounded just before 3 a.m, sending Israelis here in Tel Aviv and central Israel into their shelters. Explosions were heard, and we are now being told by the Israeli Defense Force that one of those missiles fired from Yemen did in fact land in a school. Photos released here in Israeli media show significant damage to a school building and debris in a playground. It is understood that the missile was struck by the Iron Dome air defence system, but as its debris fell, its warhead did manage to hit the ground, which is why we've seen that significant destruction. But given that it was at around 3 in the morning, the school, of course, was empty and there were no children inside. The IDF quickly springing into action, though. We understand Israeli Air Force jets making that 2,000-kilometre journey to Yemen, launching a wave of airstrikes in response, both on the capital, Sana'a, and also the port city of Hodeidah. They say that they were targeting Houthi military infrastructure and sites. We saw photos of significant explosions at power stations, oil storage facilities, and also port facilities. Now, it really only leaves the Houthi, which are continuing these attacks as part of that so-called Iranian-backed axis of resistance. The US, the UK have been launching their own airstrikes on Yemen in response to all of this and those attacks on international shipping. But despite those continued airstrikes, it appears the Houthi are continuing to launch these aerial attacks. There is some discussion underway here in Israel, certainly in the media, that the IDF has prepared major strike plans to try and, quote-unquote, decapitate the Houthi rebels. They say that plan is now sitting on the desk of the Prime Minister and the government, waiting for official sign-off. Again, the Houthis say they are doing this in support of the Palestinian people in Gaza, where we understand those ceasefire negotiations between Israel and Hamas are still ongoing, both in the Egyptian capital, Cairo, as well as the Qatari capital, Doha. Trent Murray for AnewZ, Tel Aviv.